when it comes to featherweight, people are making a big deal out of this, saying Dan Hooker, is he going to be able to make the cut? Oh, they say this is an experiment for him. This dude fought 6 times in the UFC at featherweight, so it's not like this is something that he's never been able to do before. I do think his chances of kind of having a nice mismatch body-wise, frame-wise, length-wise, it's all there. You know what I mean? This dude's big, 6 feet tall at 145 pounds, 75-inch reach, have a clear reach advantage on Arnold Allen, clear size, height advantage. The question, though, is how is he going to be able to handle the grappling, AJ? Arnold Allen doesn't do the most offensive wrestling. He's not the most offensive wrestler in there. He does a lot of defensive wrestling. He does a lot of cage wrestling. But Dan Hooker, even if you go back to his featherweight days and you still compare it to now, he wants to walk you down. He wants to push, pressure, pace, the whole 9. Do you like the size advantage in this fight? Do you think that he'll be able to really make some damage happen to Arnold Allen? You know what I mean? Give him a look that he hasn't seen. Because if Sadiq Youssef couldn't necessarily do it, he has a very similar fight style to Dan Hooker when it comes to pace. Arnold Allen was able to out-grapple Sadiq Youssef and kind of edge that fight out. Do you think we see the same thing here, or does Dan Hooker have a real game plan for Arnold Allen?
Well, I like what you said right there, Derek, the game plan, because that's what it comes down for me, man. Game plan versus game plan. We got City Kickboxing versus TriStar. Whose game plan is going to outwork the other person's? Whose chess match is going to be thinking 2 steps ahead? And can the range of Dan Hooker really be implemented? Because he is one of the fighters we talk about all the time where there's fighters that just don't use their range. You got, what, 6 inches on this dude? 4 inches on this dude still. You got a good reach advantage on him. And either way, Dan Hooker is the guy that knows how to use that range. But he's a lot better on the front foot than he is on the back. We see when he's running away, like in the Michael Chandler fight, he just can't really get things done. And then you get clipped. Things happen to you. It's how the fight game goes. But when he can be on that front foot, utilizing the range, utilizing the kicks and stuff like that, then Dan Hooker fares usually very nicely. But against Arnold Allen, man, this dude has some slick everywhere. Literally doesn't matter if it's the ground, defensive wrestling, if you're talking about striking. This dude's slick, man. He fights very much, obviously, like GSP because he's in the camp. He's helping him train. And he goes about it in a very smart way. So I think Arnold Allen has the tools to be able to get on the inside and not let Dan Hooker fight his fight. The big question is, after going from 145 to jumping up to 155 and then back down to 145, are we going to see a Cody Garbrandt effect on Dan Hooker, or are we going to see like a Jose Aldo effect where the weight cut's even better? He's looking sharper, he's looking faster, but still has the power and still has the chin that he had in 155. Or are we going to see the Garbrandt where he comes down a little chinny, a little not as fast, you know, not being able to be on the same level he once was? I don't really know. I think he's going to be looking good, looking strong, but man, Arnold Allen is one hell of a fight. And to me, this is the fight that Arnold Allen needs to propel himself to really get some respect in the division. What do you think, Derek? You think he's going to be able to get this one and earn the respect, or are we going to see something that makes people think Dan Hooker still has it in him?
Dan Hooker clearly has it in him. I think people are, I mean, it's a what have you done for me recently sport, right? And you get mauled by Islam Makhachev, so now all of a sudden you suck, you're the worst. But it's like this dude was a fixture in the light heavyweight division for the longest time. All of a sudden, it just doesn't make sense to me. He's 11-7 in his UFC career. And at the end of the day, my man, Dan Hooker has fought way more stout, staunch opposition than Arnold Allen has. As much as I really do like Arnold Allen, I like his strength of schedule too. I just think Dan Hooker's is on another level. Last 5, Islam Makhachev, you lose to a Kimura. All right, cool. Nasrat Haqparast. You go and show out, you can grapple, right? I mean, I was there at that fight. Dan Hooker, he put it on Nasrat Haqparast. Obviously, it was the short notice bout and all that good stuff. But either way, you lose to Michael Chandler, first round TKO, Abu Dhabi. You know, that was a weird one, right? Before that, you lose to Dustin Poirier in a hell of a scrap, and then you get a split decision win against Paul Felder. That list of fighters right there, brother, you're talking about 2 former title challengers, a dude who people say arguably should hold the title right now in Makhachev, who's about to get a title shot, a crispy boxer in Nasrat Haqparast, and a perennial legitimate contender in Paul Felder, the Iron Lung, who's been doing it for quite some time. So Dan Hooker has the resume. He's 21-11 in his MMA career. He has the experience. Arnold Allen, he has 1 blemish on his record, only 1. He's 17-1, 8-0 in the UFC on a 10-fight win streak. So these two are going to come to the clash. But let me ask you about this. Arnold Allen, man, he only holds 2 finishes in the UFC. And listen, man, he has I mean, what's that rate? 2 out of 8 wins? I don't know what the percentage on that. But either way, both of those finishes come in the 3rd round. He's been a betting favorite in 6 of his 8 UFC fights, and he's won all 8 of those fights, even though those 2 of them were as an underdog here. He is a favorite once again. Does he continue the streak here, AJ, of winning as a betting favorite? And the second part of that question is only 2 finishes in the UFC. If he has to get it done via decision, do you think he can get it done via decision against Dan Hooker?
I think he has a style to be able to get the decision done, you know. And I mean, he's a decision fighter. He's not a finisher. He can get the finishes, yes, but like you said, only 2 out of 8. Yeah. Not the most. Either he's not getting lucky, you know, because sometimes that really is what it is. So I'd rather be lucky than good at some points, because sometimes you just catch them. That's how it goes. Yeah. But he also has the talent to be able to fight those long fights. So can he get it done? I think so. And can he get it done by decision? More than likely. But at the same point, man, Dan Hooker, you said it, that experience speaks levels, bro. This dude is a scrapper, and he's there to fight. Yeah. He's not just going to play pitter patter. He's actually going to go in there and do some damage. So this one, I see some value for that Dan Hooker pick. But if it comes down to it and chess matches unfold like they usually do, Arnold Allen's game plan is pretty hard to beat.
Who do you like here, brother? Over and under on this one is 2.5 rounds. Who do you like?
Whew, I'm taking the over, and I'm going Arnold Allen by decision. I think Arnold Allen's going to get it done. I think the game plan, like I said, is going to work. It's just how it goes. Although I think we're going to see some good things come out of that Dan Hooker corner, but we're not going to see him fade into the light. What do you think? Who are you going with and why?
You know what, brother? I'm taking a flyer today, folks. I'm taking a flyer, and I'm rocking with the Hangman, Dan Hooker. I think the size, the frame is going to give him a problem. And you know what, AJ? I was rewatching a fight because this dude was fighting recently in Bellator. Mads Burnell, he just dropped one against Adam Boric at Bellator, like 267 or 76 or whatever. And he was fighting Arnold Allen, right? Because Mads Burnell used to be in the UFC. And Mads Burnell was winning that fight. All 3 rounds, arguably, putting pressure, putting pace on Arnold Allen, making Arnold Allen be on the back foot. And Arnold Allen, I mean, he wasn't responding very well. How did he respond, though, at the end? He gets him with the guillotine, 3rd round submission, gets the win. All of that is gone away. But we cannot forget, lest we forget, AJ, you pressure some of these dudes, you make them fight outside of their normal fight style, which for Arnold Allen, very movement-centric, always moving in a circle. If you push him back against the cage, try to get some damage on him, try to disrupt their flow, I think Dan Hooker could have a real chance at being a live dog. So I'm rocking with the underdog, Dan Hooker. I don't think that, listen, man, those losses he has to Michael Chandler, Poirier, and Makhachev, listen, you respect it, but that's not, Arnold Allen isn't the same caliber as those fighters, even though I respect, like hell, Arnold Allen. I'm rocking with Dan Hooker. And I'm actually, believe it or not, brother, I'm going to go for a decision win for the Hangman right there. So I'm taking the over on that one. Should be a fun fight, though, man. We'll see if I'm right or wrong, but...